What is going on, Swoopers? Welcome back to another episode of Swoop Luke. In this episode, we'll be reviewing that amazing win against those Blue Baggers. Let's get into it. So before we do jump into it, of course, this is sponsored by or partnered with the Footy Live app, so make sure you download it down below. It's in the notes down there, so make sure you download it. Again, thank you for all the support that they've given me, and yeah, I just love the app. But now, let's get into this review of this game, because it was amazing. It was really, really good. So, Collingwood, Carlton, Sunday at the MCG. This was touted to be a really big game, and of course, arch rivals. It's always a big game when you go up against arch rivals. Ladder position doesn't matter, form doesn't really matter. That all goes out the window, kind of like when you play Essendon on Anzac Day. But this one had a little bit more venom in it, right? Carlton have had a shit couple of weeks, and the media is absolutely hounding them. Like, for a week, since that loss to the Bulldogs, every single day they've hounded them. Voss, Matheson comes out, you know, the board, they say that they don't mind if they don't play finals. They're saying that things need to change. Everything that they're saying in the media is giving them crap. It made me think, and I know it made a couple of you think, not everyone, but it made a couple of you guys sit back and think, far out. They could come out and absolutely just give us everything they have. It may not result in a win, but they're going to give us everything they have, and this is going to be a really close game. I said we wouldn't win by. I said we would win by about 20 or so points. We won by about, was it 30, 32 points or something like that? So, you know, over 5 goals, which was incredible. But the Carlton, they just. And, you know, you got to remember, they're versing the top team. They're versing top of the league, top of the table, right? They did not show anything. The only fight they had was that fake bravado when they were trying to, you know, do little spark fights with all of our players, rip Josh Dacos's jumper and stuff like that. So it was just all this fake macho, fake bravado sort of stuff. And Collingwood just put on an absolute near perfect first half performance. We kicked 5 goals in that first quarter because we start really well. 5 goals in that second quarter. 10 goals in the first half to Carlton's. I think they kicked 3. They kicked 4 goals in the first half. Carlton. The game was won and lost in that first half. I literally saw, and Carlton supporters will say this, Carlton supporters were leaving at half time. They were definitely leaving at half time. I saw them, right? But look, that was just a little bit that I needed to get off my chest about Carlton and what it kind of meant to them, and how much, you know, this was an 8-point game to them, and we absolutely broke them. We broke them in round 23, and we broke them again today, which was just insane. But now Collingwood's performance. I said it, how the first half was near perfect, and it was, right? A little bit sloppy in that second quarter, but 10 goals in the first half of football, amazing. And the game was won in that first half, and it stayed there. The second half, though, I don't know what I'm trying to say here. It wasn't they didn't look lethargic. It just looked like they took the foot right off the gas and kind of just went through the motions, making sure that Carlton didn't score, making sure that we still played a really good game and still kicked a couple of goals. But because the game was pretty much sewn up at half time, there was no way Carlton were kicking 6 or 7 goals straight to go on and win the game with the way that they've been playing. So we had a chokehold on them. Didn't let it go, but we just weren't. I think we were in self-preservation mode for the second half, which is totally fine with me, because I would rather go into the second half of the season with no more LTI, no more long-term injuries to any of our sort of players in a game that's already been won and lost by Carlton. You know what I mean? So that self-preservation mode, that was good. That's just how I sort of felt it. The atmosphere, you can feel drained towards the fourth quarter, mainly because it was a Carlton home game and there wasn't really any supporters left in that last quarter. But when, you know, the Pies kicked the goal at the end, it was really, really loud, and we really, really loved that. So we start this season. I keep saying we start this season. We're 10 rounds into the season. So we're 10 rounds into the season, 9-1. This is nuts. You know, our only loss coming to Brisbane after that, you know, tumultuous week with the Crisp incident and stuff like that. But 9-1, like, it's not unheard of, but this is just this Collingwood team. We are 4 points clear on top of the table, on top of the ladder. I'm watching too much soccer. That's why I keep saying table. On top of the ladder, and we're doing enough. We're doing enough to win. And I said this on my live as well, where we're not playing great, like 100%. We are playing champagne football at times, and I've said that a few times, but we're not playing like we are playing amazing football and we're beating teams by 100 points. There is still a lot to work on. There's still a lot to improve. And Craig McRae will say that, there's no such thing as being perfect. Every day you can learn from and every day you can improve. And today is no different. Yes, we smashed the Blues, our arch rivals. We smashed them. We're starting 9-1 after 10 rounds, top of the ladder, 4 points clear, a game clear. But there are still so many parts of our game and our game style that we can improve on, and I absolutely love that. We haven't hit that ceiling yet, and if there's a ceiling, we're going to blow that off, right? But we haven't hit that yet. What we're kind of gearing up for, and what it looks like to me anyway, is the second half of the season. And I don't mean rounds like 14, 15. I mean starting to play really good football in late July, sort of early August, leading up to finals, right? So you want to just kind of go on that incline. You don't want to start right up here and start playing really good football and then drop off, kind of like what Melbourne did when they went 10-1, I think, or did they get 10 straight wins or something, and they kind of started dropping off a little bit. But what Fly is doing is we've got this sustained ability to just keep winning, keep doing what we need to do, and keep getting better. And that ramp, hopefully, you can see going it off screen, hopefully right up there. Hopefully that's what's been eluding us for all these years. Hopefully. But that's still, we're not going to say it, but that's still months and months away, right? Halfway through the season, and I could not be happier. If you had told me at the start of the season that we would be 9-1, I would have laughed in your face. I did say we would start 4-1 after 5 rounds, but there's no way I saw us going 9-1 after 10 rounds. I don't think any of the footy media saw us going 9-1 after 10 rounds. There's still a lot to play out, but today just felt different. You know what I mean? I was pretty nervous going into this game, and Carlton do like to spoil the party, as they do it all the time on our birthdays and stuff like that. They do like to spoil the parties. But today felt different. I know we only won by 30 or something points, but it kind of felt like a 70-point win. It felt like a statement win. And yes, winning by 1 point, knocking them out of finals, amazing. But this just felt bigger in a sense, It felt, like I said, like a 70-point win, because these are the types of games where years ago, maybe not with Fly, maybe with Buckley and stuff, where we would kind of drop these games where we would be expected to win. We'd have good form. The other team would be playing shocking football previous, and then we would kind of match that on game day and then sort of lose that. And you can kind of think of, actually, no, you know what? It kind of reminds me of that West Coast game last year, where we should have beat them and we didn't because of any which reason, right? We were younger, we were only a few games into Fly's era. But now, the philosophies and the belief that Fly has brought us, we are playing like, look, we're playing like, just like a well-oiled machine, like a champion side. That's like, for lack of a better term, I know we haven't won the premiership or anything like that on the Fly, but that's what we're just playing like. And I said it last week against the Giants, where we need to be putting these teams away that are below us by like 60-something points, and we did that with the Giants. And this Carlton one was, we need to have a good win. This can't be a 10-point win, with the way that they're playing. This has to be a statement win. And I think winning by over 5 goals and keeping Carlton to, not playing any sort of brand of football and, not sort of getting the run that they needed or showing any signs of life, I think that is a statement in and of itself. Player-wise, though, I think everyone sort of played their role, what they needed to. Will Hoskin-Elliott played so well. It was great to see Darcy Cameron back. Without the VFL, he needed that sort of run, and he absolutely I don't know what his stats were. He didn't have a major sort of influence on the game, I don't feel, from where I was sitting. But it was good to see him back running out because we need that. Max Cox drop forward and stuff like that. Darcy Moore holds the record now for most intercept marks in a game with 11 since recorded stats started in 1999. That is crazy. Carlton just kept kicking it to him. And he was taking those intercept marks, bunch of contested possessions. Nick Daicos played well. Wasn't his 40 plus performance, but it was not a 3 Brownlow vote performance this game, but he played well. Josh Daicos, again, still side-bottom Scott Pendlebury in that first half, just wound the clock back to 2010 era. It was just incredible to watch. Just everyone. Bobby Hill, Ash Johnson with Mark of the Bloody Year. Like, dude just flew to the clouds, man. He touched the sky. Everyone played their role, and that's what I love about this team. Jordan De Goey played another really good game. This is what I love about this team, right? We know each other so well that if one player is out of position because he's contesting another ball, someone else can kind of... It's fluid. It's a fluid game. You know what it kind of reminds me of? It's so much like Ted Lasso, where... And this is not a Ted Lasso... It's a Ted Lasso-ism, I guess. Total Football, right? They just talked about Total Football, that the Dutch Johan Cruyff was playing, and that the way that Pep Guardiola plays at Man City. Total Football, where you kind of just, if someone goes up, someone comes in, and if this guy goes up, this guy comes in. It's just fluid. It's fluid football. That's what we're playing. We know each other so well, and we are just going into spaces. We know where the ball's going to end up. We know Darcy Moore's going to take the intercept mark, and he's going to go across there. And we know Steele Sidebottom's going to push back here because, Nick Daicos is going to run down there. So our halfback is pushing to forward. Then the wing guy's going to drop into the halfback line. Josh Daicos. It's just fluid football, and it's beautiful to watch. And I'm not going to say that we're going to go undefeated for the rest of the season. We're going to lose games. Like, that's just, it sort of is not a given, but, we're probably going to drop games, right? But what we're seeing now and the football that we're playing and the football that we're watching, it's just beautiful. And what the beautiful thing about it is you can have a really good first half and then a mediocre second half, but it's because of your first half, you set yourself up, and it's not that we dropped in that second half. We were just preserving ourselves, and we knew what we needed to do to win still, because we were still very competitive. We just weren't super attacking, so we kind of switched it up and do this, but we're still playing that fluid football. Oh, I just love this team. I love this team, and I love what Flyer has brought to this team. I'm just so excited to see where this season takes us. I don't know where it's going to take us, but it just feels good, and enjoy the win against Carlton. Enjoy the bloody win against Carlton. Anyway, guys, like, comment, subscribe. Tell your family, tell your friends, tell your pets. Until next time, Double Shackers. I'll swoop you later.